This we use a lot when we're working on defining out our type scale, understanding different type combinations, and we'll also use this when defining out type tokens. We'll use this for design systems. We'll also use this for just regular product design as we're kind of going through an exploration phase, or we want to adjust the scale across the board, and we just want to see how different types work with each other and things like that. So in this one, this is not a FigJam template, so it is a little bit different. And the way this is kind of set up is we have our knowledge center in here and kind of talks a little bit about this type scale worksheet and how to use it. We have some local components that we've set up here that are really used to just house the structure and things like that and how those can actually function. Then up here, we have the templates, and these templates are set up to have the different 16 pixel base size scales and 14 pixel base size scales that we use the most. You might use different ones, but these are the ones that we kind of use the most. And these are all defined out from modularscale.com. There's a few other type scale tools you can use to really see these different scales. So for example, we've got minor second in here. You see all of the H values, body, button, some other ones here called out like label, and then we have the scale value in here. In these elements, each one of these is set to a type style. So those are defined in here so that we can easily reset these if for some reason something went wrong. But we've gone through and kind of categorized these. We've got like ones that are best for mobile apps, some that are good for like web apps, and then obviously marketing sites and things like that. And then we have a 14 pixel base size template as well that's in here. Now, these are all like our default templates, and we don't really mess around with these too much. We go in the working space. And so in the working space, we have these laid out sort of in this horizontal view, so you can really kind of get some comparisons on how those are going to look in your designs. Same thing with the 14 pixel base, so we can kind of see how those look. And really the way we would go about adjusting these is, for example, let's say golden section. We're going to use this one, which has a scale of 1.618, and we would duplicate this underneath here, and then we would detach this component. And then we would go through and take a look at all of these different values. Now, none of these are linked to the type styles because we want to be able to change and mess around with these, right? For example, let's say we're working on a marketing site and we want to use Playfair display for our headings. We can put that in there. And then we want to, this is just enter. So we want to try like open sans, and we can kind of see what that looks like. And we can start to set these up next to each other so we can start having conversations about the different types that we want to use. For example, we can switch these out fairly quickly. Let's do IBM. We can start to see different combinations and how those would look in those scales. We picked out the most, the headings, 4 levels here, a couple of key like body, button, paragraph 2, label or subtitle. We picked out the ones that we use the most, but you might need another one. And so there's kind of a cool little trick you can do if you copy one of these headings, because you might need another level up. Maybe you need a display 1 value here. And you want to adjust that scale. You could go to Modular Scale and go take a look at that, but this little trick actually works pretty well, where you just take your current size that you have from the previous value and just multiply it by the 1.618, and that'll give you the next size up. So we have 177.45. Figma does its little rounding thing, but this is very helpful for just getting the next size up. And then line height, you can do something like this, where, if you wanted to get and actually we'll do 22 times 8. If you wanted to get the line height adjusted, and actually I would probably do 23 times 8. You can get those adjustments in there by just doing that multiplication. And you notice our line height isn't set to the traditional 1.2 or 1.5 multiplication. We use like the pixel grid for a lot of our line heights. So that's just something that works for us, but you can really adjust it however you want. So this will get used, like I said, early on in our process when we're going through and looking through the different conceptual directions and how we want to figure out the type that we want to use. And then we'll also use this when we're defining out a type scale for our design system. We'll then copy and paste what we settle on, what we've had a discussion on, into our UI kit, and we'll use that to define out all of our tokens and things like that. So there's a lot of different ways to go about building out design systems, right? A lot of people think it's just about building out the components and building out the right design pieces and making sure everything's connected and functioning and seamless token automation all the way through. While that is true, really a lot of the work is about connecting our team and getting that team alignment. And these resources are really focused about getting that team alignment. And this is part of our design systems in Figma course. So you don't need to have used the course to use these resources. They're all free in the community. But if you really want to unpack how we build out design systems in Figma from like a designer's point of view, the whole design team here at Headway put a really great course together. It's available at shipwright.design. So definitely feel free to check that out. We've got some other resources out there as well, like UX audit templates, building customer journey maps, a brand guideline template, and then of course our free UI kit and design system starter kit. And we use these in everything that we do. And if you do use any of these or download them, we're definitely looking forward to any feedback that you might have of adjustments or things that work best for you or didn't work for you, as we're trying to build really the best resources that we can for design systems and for designers working through their different product designs.